After my cancer diagnosis, I became homeless. I had to make a decision of doctor's appointments or utilities, medications or clothes. Hi, my name is Kimberly Skinner, and I'm a triple negative breast cancer survivor. I have done nursing since I was 22. I worked in urgent care, and I was an x-ray tech, and that will be the same place that I will find cancer. Cancer will meet me in that same setting. And I am one that's always giving the diagnosis and holding hands. So getting a cancer diagnosis, I was on the other side of it. I was almost promised that it was not going to be anything. It was just going to be maybe a fibrous mass or a cyst, but definitely not cancer. I asked for a biopsy to be done of the mass in my left breast, and it was taken as if I was rushing the physician, and it was almost like I had offended the doc by asking him, hey, are you going to do a biopsy? We did it, and he rushed through it, and he said, you just have a clogged milk duct. So I went for a second opinion, and I was misdiagnosed the second time, and they told me it was a cyst. On 12/31/2019, at 9:34 is when I got diagnosed with cancer. Being diagnosed in a pandemic, life shut down. How was I going to do treatment in a pandemic also? So I had all these different things going on in my head. I worked in the beginning until chemotherapy got too much. I became really weak. That's when life threw another curveball. I had insurance for the first initial treatments, and then I lost my healthcare coverage because I was no longer employed. I became homeless because I didn't have a job, so I couldn't pay any of my rent or any of the expenses that goes to taking care of yourself and two children. I think several days without eating, and I ended up in the hospital because I was trying to make sure that my children ate. Anything that I had, I was just pouring into them. I would skip my medications because almost $400 a month for maintenance medication wasn't really feasible. It wasn't something that you could do on no income. I never had time to be weak. I just had to fight. I don't think anybody even knew all that was going on until after I had come through it. I didn't want it to be a burden on anybody. I said, you misdiagnosed me, and he just wouldn't go straight. And he left the room, and he came back, and he said, I just wanted to see if we could just talk about it. And I said, it's not for any malpractice or anything. All I want is to be a change. Change how you see people. Change how you treat your patients. Take the time to actually see them and hear them. And he says, you've changed how I will forever practice. The way healthcare is set up, it is not patient driven. And I think that sometimes physicians get so used to their day-to-day and they stop seeing the patient as human. I want physicians to take the time and just hear them, take the moment to address it. For me to have lost health care coverage, I think that everyone that has that diagnosis should be able to just worry about getting better, no matter what age you are. And that's what I want to see somehow that incorporated, that we can just focus on getting better. We don't have to focus on medications, the cost of treatments, the cost of chemotherapy, the cost of radiations, that we could just heal and take the time to heal. Your question can be the change in life or death. Kick down the doors. Make a seat for yourself at the table to have your voice heard so that change can happen, that the patient is not ignored, that diagnoses are not just rushed through. I started a nonprofit, Kimi's Closet Incorporated. I sent out a comfort pouch and it has anything from chapstick to socks to a quote that I've written to poems. And so that's what I do. I take care of the Pink Sister after they ring their bell. I was sitting in my car and I was doing some research on my phone and Tigerlily Foundation popped up. And I finally saw myself. I hadn't seen myself in anything up until that point that anybody that looked like me. So it's like, hey, I can do this. And that's how I became an advocate. Going through their angel program helped me to empower other women, other men in my community that look like me. My legacy means to me is what is said about you when you're not in the room. What is said about your life when you're no longer here in this realm, in this life. For my children, I always want them to know that I fought, and I fought to the end. I am Kimi Skinner. This is my life, my legacy.